Hello everybody. Today we're going to be talking about our third lecture on TAPDA. Inside this lecture, I'll be teaching you on how to catch exact lows using TAPDA. This is the lecture you've all been waiting for, because you understand what TAPDA is, but you don't understand how to utilize it in your trading. Usually, you only see it when backtesting. Today, I'll be teaching you how to use it in real time and how to catch lows over and over and over again using TAPDA, using one very simple concept. So let's get into it. So how can we use TAPDA to anticipate where exact swing points will occur? Well, we can do this by aligning the higher time frame with the lower time frame. And you might be like, okay, well, what does this mean? I'm pretty intrigued. Well, this is what I'm going to be talking you through. The way we do this is by only drawing out our lower time frame ranges that were formed inside of our higher time frame range. So what does this mean? This means that we only draw out a 1 minute TAPDA range inside of our 10 minute TAPDA range, inside of our 1 hour TAPDA range. I hope that makes sense. So it kind of all works inside of each other. We don't have a 10 minute TAPDA without a 1 hour TAPDA, and you can fractalize this down as much as you want until you find the exact SMR point. But at the moment, I would not recommend you doing that. I would just stick to these three time frames. And guess what? If you're a swing trader, you can do the same thing, but then you might be saying, okay, you never talked us through how you can use TAPDA when swing trading. Well, it's all got to do with days. Let's say currently you're on the daily chart. Let's say today's date is the 19th of January. What date would we use as our TAPDA candle on the daily chart? We would use the 19th of X month. So that means every 19th day of the month, we would use that TAPDA candle. So let's say the 19th of December. If we use the 19th of December and the range of that 19th of December candle gets traded into on the 19th of January, that right there would be TAPDA in play on the daily chart. And then what time frame do you go into? We then go into the hourly chart. The hourly chart will be our intermediate time frame. So then once we're inside of our daily TAPDA range, we then try look for our hourly TAPDA range inside that daily TAPDA range, and then we drop down into the 10 minute to find our entries. I know we've been looking at this one blank screen for quite a while, but I just need to get through that just so everyone can understand how we fractalize TAPDA. This right here is a visual schematic of what I mean. As you can see on the outside, this right here is our hourly range. This is our biggest range. Inside of that range, we then have our 10 minute range. This range is slightly smaller than our hourly range, but it's formed inside of our hourly range. And then inside of there, we have our 1 minute range. This 1 minute range is formed inside of our 10 minute and inside of our hourly. So I hope that concept is clear to everyone. So now you understand the logic, but how do we apply the logic in real time? Because I'm sure you've had this with TAPDA. You've backtested it and you see that it works and you understand and see the precision of it, but you can't utilize it in real time. It is very hard for new traders and people who don't understand where the SMR should come in to utilize TAPDA, and this is the problem we have. So to tackle this problem, me and my team have spent months developing the most advanced public TAPDA indicator that does this for you, so you don't need to worry about missing setups. This means that it plots fractalized ranges onto your chart without you having to do anything. And this is exactly what I've just explained. This indicator also works perfectly hand in hand with my 85% win rate total alignment model. So if you haven't watched that video, you need to go back and watch it, because that video, and once you start using that model and you start seeing that model, your life will completely change, because you won't ever need to use anything ever again. All you need to do is understand the total alignment model. So let's go into how the indicator looks like and real chart examples of this working. So as you can see, we are now on the minute chart. If we go over here, this is my indicator. And my indicator has two settings. We have a chart time frame only mode and multi-time frame mode. Today we're only going to be talking about the multi-time frame mode. As you can see, price is kind of chopping around, but if you go into the higher time frame, you would see we're looking for buy setups. So what are we looking for? We're looking for TAPDA to occur on the lows. Now, if we start replaying, what you'd be able to see is price starts drawing to the downside, but what do we start drawing down into? Well, as you can see, the indicator has just plotted our exact swing point. Now watch what happens. We draw down and quickly displace down into all of these ranges. This blue box is our biggest hourly range. This orange box is our 10 minute range. And this green box is our minute range. As you can see, this is total time and price alignment. So now look what happens. We start to reject and then we drop down one more time into this minute range. After we do this and we close above this candle right here, watch what happens. We begin to expand, and this low right here was the swing low that formed this whole run higher. This is exactly how you can use this indicator to form exact swing points. Well, let's get into another example. Okay, so now this is our second example. This is a trade I actually took live, and I posted execution on Twitter and YouTube. So this will both be a little breakdown and also explaining how to use this concept. As you can see, we got all three ranges inside of each other. So we got a blue hourly range, our orange 10-minute range, and we also got a green 1-minute range. As you can see, we come down, however we stay inside of this range. As you can see, we kind of come down below this 1-minute range, however we do stay in the larger range, and that is what matters. After we reject, we then close above this CIBI. This confirms to me that we are now in a buy program. Now, if we carry on the replay, what we can see is we kind of chop around a little bit, and what you would see is I enter on this green candle here. Now, the reason I entered on this green candle was purely to do with TAPDA as well. If I switch my indicator to chart only mode, then this would tell me that I needed to enter on this green candle. I might explain what chart time frame only mode is, but basically I use chart time frame only mode for entries. This mode right here is for our narrative and framing reversals. My other mode, which is the chart time frame only mode, is for entries. Now, on this black candle, I get a TAPDA right here, and then we start expanding away from it. After we start expanding and we close, that's when I enter, because I am not expecting us to reverse. We have now switched into a buy program on the lower time frames, and now I'm looking for a small retracement to the upside. And now after I enter, I place my stop here. How did I know that my stop will not get hit? Because if you look over at ES, we have SMT on these lows. Now that's something for you guys to investigate. After we drop down here, I'm not worried at all because I know these lows should not get taken out. And then we start expanding up. And then if you watch my execution, you would see I took profit right at the top here. How did I know that we were going to reverse after I took most of my partials? Also, because TAPDA framed this whole setup, I used no PD arrays, zero. All I used is time and price. I hope this video answered most of the questions you guys had, because I know loads of people had so many questions regarding this, because this topic is not a very well explained topic. I am one of the only people who understand this topic in depth and that can teach it, because most people can only hint at it because they don't understand the concept. I understand the concept, and this is a concept I know that works, and I will teach because I only teach things that work and that I use and that I have tried out. So this lecture right here was a pretty advanced lecture. So if you guys have any questions at all, please feel free to drop them in the comments and I'll answer them all. I hope everyone has a great day, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye.